Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sarai and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the ultimate loaded Mother's Day strawberries. You guys absolutely loved my Valentine's Day strawberries, so today we're going to be doing some Mother's Day inspired. If you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe so that way you can follow along for all of the new videos that are going to be coming out. I'm definitely going to start incorporating a lot more baking videos because you guys seem to love it and you guys ask, I deliver. I also want to point out that I also got a mic, so if you're wondering what this thing is on my chest, it's a mic. Somebody in my last video suggested I should get a mic and I did it. I bought a DJI mic. So if the audio sounds good, it's thanks to this mic, and if it doesn't sound good, then I did something wrong, which wouldn't be shocking for me, to be honest. I also want to make a note in today's video. I am going to show you guys step by step how I'm doing everything, but in my previous video, my Valentine's Day video, I'll insert a clip here and I'll also try to link it somewhere in the video. If you guys want to go check it out, I do share a lot of helpful tips on there and little tricks and stuff like that. So make sure you go check out that video after this video. Anyways, I'm going to stop yapping and we're just going to get right into it. These are the strawberries from Kroger's. Whenever you're looking for strawberries, these are the ones that you want to go for versus like the tiny ones. You want to go for the bigger ones. So whenever you're looking for the strawberry packs, you need to find a pack that has a decent amount of bigger ones. Oh my gosh. This is one of the worst things whenever you're looking for strawberries, and from the outside they look good, right? But then you flip them over and they're spoiled. I hate this part about looking for strawberries because you can't open the container in the store, you know? In today's video, these are all the ingredients that we're going to be using. The distilled white vinegar to clean the strawberries, 2 bowls, strawberries of course, mini cupcake liners, a plastic bag, Oreos, pecans, milk chocolate and white chocolate melting wafers, some bags to drizzle. I'm using these pastry bags, these letter molds, a glass to dip the strawberries in, parchment paper, and then we also have a metal baking tray. So let's go ahead and get into it. I already washed the strawberries, now we're going to dry them. Remember, you want to be gentle whenever you dry them off. You also want to make sure that you dry underneath the leaves. The strawberries are dry. I'm not gonna lie, Kroger's didn't have the best options right now. Maybe the strawberries are in season, but there wasn't that many to choose from, and this was the best package I could find. Since they are kind of bruised, I do think they started leaking a little bit, which isn't the best for dipping, but it's the only option I had to do this tutorial. If you are selling strawberries and a specific store doesn't have them, you might want to go shop around to see which stores carry the best strawberries, or at least the best strawberries for the day. I moved the strawberries to the side and now we're going to start prepping our toppings. So for this video, we're going to be doing some coated in pecans. I got these from Kroger's. These are already small chips. I recommend getting this bag. You can also get the full size too. It really doesn't matter. You can just chop them up yourself. These look fairly good. I might want to do another rough chop through them just to get them even smaller. And then we're going to be coating some in Oreo cookies. We're going to start with the Oreos first. This is also where your bag's going to come in handy. So what I'm going to use from the Oreo is just the cookie part of it. I'm not going to use the inside filling just because if we were to dip into it, it would look too messy. So we're going to just break them apart. I'm going to grab another tiny bowl to put the filling in. We're just going to take the filling and then scrape it out. If there's a little bit of excess, that's fine. I'll pop them right into the bag. And we're just going to repeat the process. I'm probably going to use about 5 to 6 Oreos and then see how much that gets us. Oh, snap. So I ended up using about 10 Oreos. Now we're gonna close up the bag, make sure all the air's out. Now the fun part, now we're gonna start crushing them. I'm gonna just use this lemon squeezer just because that's really all I have on hand. I'm gonna use this and we're gonna crush them up and make them really fine and powdery almost. Now that we got them crushed up enough, we're gonna add them to the bowl. This is kind of what we're looking for, a very fine, almost dust-like type of look. If there's some bigger pieces in there, that's also okay too. Just try to get it as fine as you can. Now we're gonna go ahead and add the pecans to the bowl. I'm gonna go ahead actually and give these a rough chop first. I added some parchment paper underneath it so that way I can just easily transfer it over. About that much. They're already a pretty good size. I just like them to be a little bit smaller. About like that, good to go. I'm gonna add just a little bit more, and whatever I don't use, I'm just gonna save the rest for later. Now we're gonna add our metal baking tray to the fridge. I do that so the strawberries dry faster on the baking tray. We got the toppings together. Now we're gonna start prepping everything to start dipping. First, we're gonna add these toothpicks to the strawberries so that way it's easier to dip them. We're just gonna stick them through the top on either side of this stem right here. For the bigger ones, I like to do 2, and for the smaller ones, I like to do 1 toothpick, just like that. And you don't wanna stick it in all the way. You just wanna add like this much into the strawberry so that way there's grip. These are prepped. Now we're going to move on to the chocolate. For the chocolate today, we're going to be using milk chocolate and white chocolate. But for all of the strawberries, we're going to dip them in milk chocolate. The white chocolate is going to be used as a drizzle for one of the designs. Since a lot of the strawberries are going to be in milk chocolate, I'm going to just fill up the whole glass. We're gonna be melting this in intervals. The first interval is gonna be for 30 seconds. We're gonna take it out, stir it, and then put it back for another 15 seconds, take it out, stir it, and keep doing that until it's the consistency that we wanna see. This is what it looks like after the first 30 seconds. Give it a stir, looking good. You wanna make sure you give it a good mix. Since the chocolate melted down, we're gonna go ahead and add more milk chocolate. Mix the new ones in, and then we're gonna go ahead and add it for another 15 seconds. This is after the next 15 seconds. It's getting there. You need to also stir between every interval too. You don't want to keep just melting it and melting it where it's at, because then it can burn. So make sure you stir thoroughly in each interval. It looks like it's almost there. I'm going to do one more 15-second interval and then take a look. This is after that 15-second interval. Honestly, it looks pretty good. I think we might just keep it here and let it continue to melt with the heat. There's maybe like 3 little chips in here. Other than that, it looks really good. While that's sitting right there, I went ahead and took out the baking tray, and now we're gonna line it with some parchment paper. The chocolate's been sitting here for about maybe a minute or so, and it's the perfect consistency. It's beautiful and runny. So we're gonna go ahead and start dipping our strawberries. If the chocolate does start to harden at any point, then we can also put it back into the microwave for like another 10 seconds or so until it's back to this consistency. For the design that I'm doing today, I'm gonna be recreating one of my Mother's Day strawberry boxes. In this strawberry pack, I'm gonna be using the medium to small ones for the coatings, and then using the bigger ones for the drizzled design. So you wanna grab all of the strawberry leaves, everything's picked up, and we're gonna go straight down and straight up. Make sure everything's fully coated. Let it sit here for a second to drip off all of the chocolate. You can give it a little shake, and I like to shake the cup around too, so that way that chocolate on top goes back in and melts. Once it stops dripping, we're gonna set it on the parchment paper right over here. And that's why we want this to be cold too, so that way you can help set the chocolate faster. Repeat it again. I might double dip these. Sometimes I double dip the chocolate ones, sometimes I don't. It just depends on how the coating looks. Sometimes it looks good with one dip, but then sometimes it has like that chicken skin look. Whenever it looks like that, I like to dip twice. Like anytime I'm dipping white strawberries, I always dip it twice because the white is kind of see-through. Moving on to the toppings, I'm gonna start with the Oreo ones first. We're gonna dip it, let it dry off as much as it can, let it stop dripping, because if it's still dripping and you bring it over here, it's gonna leave clumps in here, and that's not what we want. So we need to try to get as much chocolate off as we can over here before it dries though. Bring it over here, start moving it around like this. I also have a spoon in here so that way I can add it on top if I need to. This one's so cute. It's a little shuffle spoon. Very fitting for the Oreos. Let's go ahead and dip. And these, since it's gonna be coated in something, we're only gonna do one dip. Now that most of it stopped, we're gonna bring it over here. We're gonna start adding it at an angle like this. Just gently pat it on here. Then I'm gonna use the spoon to add it wherever it's bare. Just like this, beautiful. And then repeat the process. Last one. If you have some left over, it's fine. If you're making pancakes, add it to your pancakes. If you're making like a yogurt bowl, this would be so good to add to a yogurt bowl. Ice cream, you name it. You can literally add this on anything, for dessert, for breakfast, whatever the case may be. And this will definitely get eaten up because my husband loves Oreos. Now we're gonna move on to the pecans. The process is gonna be the exact same. We're gonna dip it. Then we want all the chocolate to drip off, and then we're gonna go right into the pecans. Ta-da! These are my favorite. These are so good. I love strawberry, chocolate, and pecans. This is like the perfect combination to me. You want to gently pat it in here too, remember. Don't push too hard because then it's gonna wipe all the chocolate off. This one literally has no leaves on it. So funny. Now we're moving on to the last strawberry. I like to pat it a little bit once I sprinkle it on top because it's a little hard for the bigger pieces to get stuck on there. Voila, voila. Yay! Now we did our last one. I think the only strawberry I'm gonna double dip is this one because you can kind of see through it just a little bit, or see the skin at least a little bit through it. So I'm gonna go ahead and double dip it. Beautiful. This strawberry was just extra, so I'm gonna just keep this on the side. Now that we got the strawberries dipped, before I move on to doing the white chocolate for the drizzle, we're gonna start on the chocolate lettering. This one I got from Amazon. Again, I'll have everything linked down below. We wanna do this so that way the chocolate has enough time to set by the time we start packaging everything. So we're gonna do this first. I'm gonna be using M and O because we're gonna spell out mom. And then since this one doesn't have a heart, I'm gonna use this little heart right here. We're gonna use this pastry bag, fold it back. And we're gonna add the chocolate in here. It looks like it's starting to set, so once it's in the bag, we're gonna add it to the microwave for another 10 seconds. About this much is good. Move it all to the bottom. Twist it off. I went ahead and did the 10 seconds and it looks pretty good. So we're just gonna cut off the top just a little bit. You wanna grab the bag in the palm of your hands like this. And whenever it comes to these, you wanna be very precise and make sure you get it all in the cracks. You wanna make sure you get it all in the corners because if not, it'll end up leaving little holes. I like to tap it down to make sure that everything is in there. You want to go slow and just make sure everything's filled. Tap it in there. The M, we're going to need to do 2 M's, so we're going to have to let that set and then we'll have to make another M later. We're going to do the heart, same thing, make sure it's all in the cracks. I'm going to do 2 hearts in case one of them comes out better. Now I'm gonna add these to the fridge. While those are setting, we're gonna grab our white chocolate and go ahead and start melting it. We really don't need that much, probably about that much. If we need more, we'll just melt more. Since it's so little, I might just do 15-second intervals just because I don't want it to burn. Okay, I added the white chocolate in there for about 3 15-second intervals. Although it's not fully melted yet, it's melted already and the glass is really hot. So I'm gonna just like rim it around the bowl and see if it continues to melt on its own. And if it doesn't, then we'll go ahead and add it for a little bit longer. But I do think that it'll continue to melt out because the bowl's really hot at the bottom. Don't want to burn it, so I'm gonna leave it there. In the meantime, our letters have been in there for about 5-ish minutes and I think they're ready to go. You can pull out the sides a little bit or from the bottom right here, you could just pop it out and ta-da, how cute. Perfect. Here's our other one, beautiful. I'm gonna use either or, whichever one looks better. Now we're done with this one. Time to pop these out. Let's start with the O. Again, you could just push it from the back. Same thing with this one. Be very careful with these though, because these can break and snap. Yay, looks good. I'm gonna remelt my milk chocolate, then I'm gonna make another M. Mix the chocolate up, push it in from the inside like this, so that way you can mix everything up in there. I'm gonna test it on this napkin. Now we're gonna plop it a little bit and back in the fridge. Back to the white chocolate. It needs to be melted more. I think at this point, I'm gonna actually go ahead and add it to the pastry bag and melt the rest in the pastry bag. I grabbed the small cup and opened the bag on there and I'm gonna go ahead and add this white chocolate to the bag. Gonna cut a little bit at the tip. I'm gonna test it out on here first. I might have made the hole a little too big. You might wanna make it a little bit smaller if you're doing it, but it's okay, no pasa nada. Whenever you drizzle, you wanna go left to right, sideways on the strawberry. And you wanna start from the top and go all the way down. Got 1 down. 2 down. I think the milk chocolate needs to be warmed up a little bit more, but I've already warmed it up quite a bit and I don't want it to burn, so I'm gonna just stop right here. Still looks good. Yeah, this chocolate is not working with me today, but it's okay, no pasa nada. That looks great. Now we're done with our chocolates. I brought out my other M from the fridge. Oh snap, I broke it. Yeah. Yep, she's a goner. Okay, it's fine. I'll just make another one. Okay, round 2. Gotta be very, very careful. I think the last one I might have been a little too rough with. Yay, perfect. Now we're gonna move on to packaging it. If you're making them at home and you wanna present it like on a little platter or on a little heart plate or something like that, that would be super cute. If you're giving it to somebody else as a gift or if you're doing this for a business, I use these packaging boxes. I got the boxes and these inserts from BRP Box Shop. I'm gonna go ahead and link it down below where I got these from and the size and everything like that. But whenever I was selling these, this is what I would package them in. So it comes flat like this and all you have to do is follow these little indentions right here and just fold everything, pre-fold. Fold this way, fold this way, fold these sides, and then one more, right up at the top. Then you just put these in here. You do it from the outside and just pop them in there. Then you have the box just like this. Very cute. And then for the inserts, you just fold these right here. Fold them back. It's gonna make like a little elevated like thingy. I got the 12 and the 6 so that way I could show you guys. That's why I made 12 strawberries. I really like this because it's interchangeable. You got one box, but you can fit 6 strawberries in here or you can fit 12 strawberries in here. It's really up to you. So one box and then you just buy both inserts. Pretty nice. First, we're gonna go ahead and start with the 12 counts. So we're just gonna pop the insert here. I'm gonna do 1 row of Oreo, 1 row of Drizzle, 1 row of pecans. Grab one insert, grab your strawberry, gently pull it out, and then you just pop them right in. For these pecan strawberries, I could have also added a drizzle on top of them. Sometimes I add a drizzle, sometimes I don't. For this box though, since there's drizzle only on one of them, I decided to leave these without a drizzle so that way it looks more uniform. How beautiful are these? You can also just stop here if you're doing a box like this. But since it's Mother's Day, we're gonna go ahead and add the mom on top. For the mom, I'm also gonna paint this metallic gold on top so that way it has a gold look to it. I went ahead and melted the chocolate again. All we're gonna do is just put a little bit on the back. Just like that, and then we're gonna go ahead and add it to the strawberry. You could use a tweezer for this or you could just add it on top like this. Same thing for the O. You don't want to add too much though, because then if you push down it's gonna leave like a blob. Just enough to where it'll stick. And if you don't have gold, you can also just do white letters, or you can do pink or red, whatever colors you want to do. I'm gonna just take this little paintbrush that I have, dip it in here. Now I'm just gonna paint on top. Don't pay too much mind to this end because I did break it on accident. I was trying to see if I could take the letters off and then switch them, but you can't do that. So for demonstration purposes though, this is what it looks like. I also want to show you guys what this looks like whenever it's fully closed. You just slip the sides into these little crevices right here, and then the same thing for the front. You just poke them into these little holes up here. Like that. I know they look a little funny right now because they're all sideways, but this is what it looks like with the 6 count. Super cute. What I've also done too is I've also wrapped ribbon around here. I can show you kind of like an inspo of how I done it. You just wrap the ribbon here around and then you bring it up here and then you put a little bow on it, and it's super cute. It's literally such a cute gift to give. And this is how it would look with the 12. Oh snap, let's not pay attention to this. This is what it'll look like with the 12 count. Super cute. Love it. Okay you guys, so these are the finished strawberries. They came out so cute. If you want to do something different or something that's not like fully decorated with just chocolate, I think this is a really good idea. These are super tasty, yummy, and above all else, these are extremely beginner friendly. All you have to do is dip it and just put all the crumbs on top of it and you're good to go. Very simple, very easy. These are great DIY gifts. Who doesn't love strawberry and chocolate? So go ahead and remake these, give them a try. Let me know how they come out in the comments. And if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and comment this down below. Don't forget to follow me on my socials, and above all else, don't forget to like and subscribe. Like I said, more of these videos are going to be coming soon to my channel. So if you like these style of videos, make sure you follow along. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.